Greetings, everybody. We appreciate those who are joining our webinar tonight on compliance and avoiding fines and imprisonment here in Ghana as you do business. Give us a few more seconds or a few more minutes and we'll be getting started soon.
We are Krafo Systems, a cybersecurity service provider that bridges the gap between organizations and cybersecurity awareness by providing ICT consulting, training, risk and vulnerability assessments, policy management, and network monitoring. We are a strategic partner with our clients to make them more cyber resilient. We are a collaboration of Africans here on the continent and in the diaspora, contributing our knowledge, skills, and experience to the continent's successful future. Our goal is rooted in both our vision and our DNA. We draw on our more than 4 decades of experience developing, improving, and maintaining security operations for the private and public sectors. Africa's resilience begins with the mind first.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Mamaga Ami Fafali. I'm the co-founder and Chief Operations Officer of Krafo Systems. It is my pleasure to introduce tonight's speaker. He is one who has been in the industry of cybersecurity and ICT for over 20 years, close to 25 years. And he is bringing that same technology knowledge, that same expertise to the business owners of Ghana. So after his time doing training and research and development, and his critical thinking skills and problem solving, he's brought that here to the space of entrepreneurship and honestly really just wanted to help his fellow business owners. So after many months of study, there he is. He wants to he wants to show and to give what it is that he's learned on his journey. So this is something that has been um, put together and is crafted in a way that brings the expertise and on the ground knowledge that will help anyone who is looking to do well in their business and to meet compliance standards that are a lot of times not talked about as much as they should be. So tonight I would like to welcome you guys and also introduce to you Mr. Komla Elikim, the CEO and founder of Krafo Systems. Thank you very much.
Not muted. There we go. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Fale, for the introduction. And yes, as she said, I have over 25 years of network experience in cyber and network defense and cybersecurity, research and development. The majority of that information or experience that I've gained has been in the U.S. military and for the Department of Defense. And so tonight we're going to have a webinar dealing with not security on the highest of levels, but what we consider to be the second layer of vulnerabilities, which is the businesses that operate with the government and operate amongst each other. We share a lot of information, collect a lot of information, and process a lot of information in the private sector. And in Ghana, there isn't much of a urgency, I would say, or understanding that the transition from analog to digital is fast approaching. And the level of hacks that are currently happening in our ecosystem is mostly mobile device attacks. Well, with the organizations that are in place, and Ghana has three, and the laws that they have in place for data protection, again, Ghana has three. It is key to understand these laws to help you navigate the digital ecosystem as a business owner when you are doing business. Okay, so we're going to again go over this webinar talking about the different agencies and what they and how they affect your company and how you operate and how you can be in compliance and how Krafo Systems can support your needs in regards of staying in compliance with these agencies and the different hurdles that you may go through trying to get into compliance. So when we ask, what does compliance mean? It means that you're operating legally within the country's parameters. That's what compliance means. Okay. So as we have stated, this is Krafo Systems, governance and compliance for business owners. So I believe every Ghanaian business deserves the same level of protection that the government and the militaries rely on. And that's exactly what I'm working to make a reality here in Ghana. I'm fortunate to spend almost every day helping business owners sleep better at night, knowing that their systems, their data, their personal data and their employees' data is properly protected through the training and policies that we've put in place. I work with businesses that need to get compliance, get protected, and stay that way. When the work goes well, a business that was once exposed now has structure, policies, and the confidence to continue operating securely. I want to show two videos in this webinar. This first one is going to be talking about the DPC and what happened in 2023 of August. So this was, would say the first that I know of, enforcement action. So the DPC, before I play the video, the DPC announced in July of 2023 that nationwide enforcement would begin in August of 2023. In collaboration with the Criminal Investigation Department, they apprehended representatives from different business areas across Ghana. And the representatives from two other organizations were summoned for an interrogation. what you will watch in this video. And you can even find this video on YouTube. I would like to you guys to look at the full video to see the full aspect of what happened in that situation. This is just a snippet of that video itself. Okay. So there was also another set of arrests that happened in September 2023 for violations of the Data Protection Act itself. And I'm gonna play this video and then we can go from there.
Have breached data protection laws have been arrested by a joint team operation led by the Data Protection Commission and the Ghana Police Service. Daniel Oduro-Mensah provides further insight on this report.
In an effort to ensure that businesses have the necessary authorization to process clients' data for their operations, the Data Protection Commission, in collaboration with officers from the Ghana Police Service, conducted an enforcement operation leading to the arrest of 5 business owners for non-compliance.
Please, are you listening?
Don't question me, I question you, please.
You question me, and I will have to respond to the questions that you have.
The question I asked you, what was the response?
So the response is that I will check.
The response that you gave me initially, what was it?
That I will check. If you asked me about the data certificate, and I said that
you have your data protection certificate.
Yes.
What did
So
you say?
when you asked me about data protection
Simple
certificate,
question.
I said that I will check. Yes, the data protection certificate, we are supposed to have it, so I will check. That's why I called my manager, and I understand that we will have to speak with the legal team.
The suspects were apprehended at various locations, including Care Flight Ghana, the Morning Star School, Embassy Gardens, the Dakuman branch of Cap Farm Ghana Limited, and Grace Homeopathic Clinic.
So, Mr. Ekwaso, let me about this.
Speaking to the media after the operation, Quintin Akroboto, the Director of Regulatory Compliance at the Commission, disclosed that businesses are also required to submit their data collection operations under the supervision of the Commission.
Registration is just one of the aspects of compliance. In fact, it is just the beginning process of what compliance. What we expect from institutions is to bring their processing under the radar of the Data Protection Commission for supervision. So for some of the institutions, they haven't registered at all. Even upon several follow-ups that we have done with them, they have failed to register with the Commission. And for those of them that have registered, they are still not compliant because registration under Section 46 is just one aspect of compliance. You need to appoint a supervisor, have them trained and certified to guide you in your compliance journey.
And this is the director for the DPC from the previous administration. And one of the key things he mentioned here is that even though you register with the Data Protection Commission, that is just the first step into becoming compliant. And many businesses have not done the first step, which is the part where we want to bring awareness, hence this webinar, to let businesses know that if you are collecting data and you are processing data, that you must register with the Data Protection Commission. Otherwise, you will be facing even more fines and possible imprisonment. Now, what happened this year, January 26th of 2026? There was an announcement that was made by the new DPC Executive Director, Dr. Arnold Kavapour, at the media launch of the 2026 Data Protection Week in Accra. His exact words were, "It's important to take notice that 2026 will be the year of enforcement." Okay, so I'm going to play that video and I want you to hear everything else he has to say.
That's why Data Protection Week 2026 is designed as a month-long national program to move beyond awareness and strengthen accountability, compliance, and trust across the entire data lifecycle. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we are celebrating Data Protection Week, it is important to self-notice that 2026 will be a year of enforcement. Let me repeat. It is important to self-notice that 2026 will be a year of enforcement. The Data Protection Act is clear. Clause 27 provides that a data controller who intends to process personal data must register with the Data Protection Commission. We see it again in clause 46, 3, and 56, which further emphasize that compliance requirements for lawful data processing.
Now, as you heard him say, his exact words were, it is important to take notice that 2026 will be the year of enforcement. Okay, take that into account. Also, on March 2nd, 2026, at the National Data Protection Conference in Accra, Communication Minister Samuel Narte George disclosed that a policy directive would soon be issued to the DPC to impose fines on organizations that had not registered or complied with the act. Again, please vet this information that I'm giving you. Our goal is to establish trust, not fear. Okay? But now that I say that, I must say, if you held this information now, and if the DPC showed up to your business tomorrow, how would you react? Some of you just might, that might be a natural reaction for some of you. I know it would be for me because once we found out we had to register with them, and we're a licensed cybersecurity service firm, and we didn't at the time knew anything about the DPC, and we needed to register with them for data collection. Luckily, we found out before we started collecting data on our clients. Now, let's dig a little deeper into what the Data Protection Commission is and what they're about. So, the Data Protection Commission, or DPC, regulates and enforces the processing of personal data to protect people's privacy, data protection, and privacy rights. Okay, if you see here, Act 843, which is the full name is Data Protection Act of 2012, is what regulates the DPC. This is how they are governed, and this is how they move. If you want to get this, get more details in regards to the law, please, you can go to their website and they have the law ready for you to download or to observe. Now, this is the DPC director, Dr. Ono Kavapour. And again, if you listen to what he said, he mentioned a few things. He mentioned 4 sections of the law. One was Section 3, which is the function of the commission, right? The second one was the registration of the control section, which is Section 27. Then establish of the DP registration section, which is Section 46. And he mentioned failure to regulate section, which is Section 56. So let's talk a little bit about these sections. First section, in Section 3, they talk about the commission itself. This is the functions of the commission. The commission is supposed to make sure that business handles personal data, right? The second one is to have an internal system so they can process the work effectively. The third is if someone complains, they'll be the ones take a look into it. And then, of course, lastly, the commission keeps official list of the data controllers and the processors. And this is where the registration comes in. Then we talk about Section 27, Section 27, which is in line with the registration process. Okay, so you must register with the data controllers, inform the data subject before and at collection, inform if the data is, being given to a third-party entity, or is being shared with them. An exemption applies to certain legal security cases, but that'd be something that you'd have to do more research on in regards to the nature of your business and how you operate, and the purpose of the data that you're collecting. And they have all these in the law as to what is considered an exempt and what is considered non-exempt. Keep records and privacy notices up to date as well. So in the 27, this is what it's talking about in regards to how are you designated as a data controller, how much data you're collecting, and things of that nature. So we also have to deal with the next section, which is section 46. Now, this one shows you who maintains the list and who must register. Okay, so the act creates an official list called the Data Protection Registration. The commission must create, keep, and update this register. All right. So this is how they this is how they keep record of who is and who is not certified. What I mean by certified is to have a certificate that they're able to operate in Ghana and are able to collect the data and process the data that they have acknowledged to the Data Protection Commission. All right. And then every data controller must register with the commission, as I said before. Now we get into section 46. Sorry, section 56. Here we're talking about how is failure to comply with these can end up in fines or penalties. Okay, so this is where your CEOs really need to pay attention to this part, and the board members who make decisions on this. I understand Ghana has a certain mindset when it comes to doing business and applying with the law, but I am urging you to understand that the veil of shadows that we operate in or that you operate in will soon be removed as Ghana continues to increase its ability to bring in other instruments, professionals, and systems that will identify and acknowledge who is doing business and then authenticate that person as a business owner and then hit them with fines and or imprisonment. So I really want those who makes decisions in regards to how the business moves. But we understand we as business owners are always taking risks. I do not look at this as a risk that you should take lightly and put a lot of effort towards trying to get yourself in compliance. Okay. Now, some of the frequently asked questions that we may have. One is, what is the number or limit I must reach before I have to register with the Data Protection Commission? Well, one person. The minute you collect data on one of your clients, regardless of what it is, name, phone number, address, email address, you are now, by law, considered a data collector. And then once you use that information, or in their words, process it for the needs of the business, you are also a data processor. Okay, so the moment your business collects, stores users, or processes any personal data about another individual, regardless of how big or small your business is, no matter how much data you hold, it doesn't matter whether you are a local or foreign, you are legally required to register with the Data Protection Commission. A sole trader with one customer record on their phone is the same as a multi-billion-dollar company that has multiple millions of records of a person on their phone, like MTN or something like that. So if you have not started your business yet, if you have not started your business yet, please be advised this is one of the extra checks in the box that you must do once you've registered your business. If you have registered your business already, you have 20 days from the time of registration to register with the Data Protection Commission. Now, there is a bit of a window here. If you are not doing business and you've registered your business, you're kind of safe. You don't have to register with the DPC until you start collecting the data. Until they change that, that's the window that you have, and the only window that you have that I know of. Okay. Another one of frequently asked questions, what conditions must be met for a foreign company who collects, processes Ghanaian citizens' personal data or government data or the private sector data? Businesses data have to regulate with the DPC as well. But the conditions in which a foreign entity would have to regulate with the DPC is, I believe it's three. The first one, if you're collecting data on Ghana citizens, you have to register. If you are processing data of Ghanaian citizens, you have to register. If you have a third party that's doing either of those collecting or processing, or like I said, or both, and they're doing it on behalf of your company, even though it's a foreign company, in the eyes of Ghana, you still must register with the Data Protection Commission. Okay. Now, for those of you who are not business owners and are collecting data for personal use, this does not apply to you. If you're a business owner and you are collecting data and it's maybe sitting on the same phone for personal use, it'd be a safe bet to say that that phone is also now a business phone. So you would have to treat it as such. And there's also policies and procedures that must be put in place that you would have to perform, or I'm sorry, not to perform, but you would have to actually engage in doing or showing that you're in the process of doing in order to ensure the safety of the personal data that you have collected on that device. Now, if you use infrastructure or equipment with Ghana to process the data, these were the sections that I was talking about. The three areas where you either producing the Ghana to process the data, if you hire Ghanaians and companies, individuals to process the data, things of that nature. So this is normally the area where we would have questions. For those of you who do have questions after seeing this video, please, you can reply in the comments on our YouTube channel. We have a live running now. If you've seen us on YouTube, you can leave it in the comments, or you can contact us at our website. Okay. Now, the other agency, also very important. This agency was established in 2020. This is the Cybersecurity Authority. This government agency is responsible for safeguarding cyberspaces, coordinating national cybersecurity efforts, regulating critical information infrastructure, and protecting cybersecurity awareness. All right. Now they fall under four cores of duties that they operate on, as you see here. So one of those is Section 3 of their law, which is the Cybersecurity Act 1038. This section gives the DPC four duties. I'm sorry, the CSA four duties that they must carry out. And also when it comes to reporting incidents, they must be reported to the Computer Emergency Response Team, Ghana. All right. As I mentioned before, here's the 1038, Section 47. And here are the requirements that you must meet as you are, if you are operating any IT equipment and have to provide any type of cybersecurity services to protect that data. Okay. Now, the data protection register, what does it mean for your business? Well, since we do provide cybersecurity services in Ghana, we are required by law to register with the Cybersecurity Authority. So we have to make sure we register with the Data Protection Commission because we collect and process data. And since our business is in alignment with cybersecurity, we must also register to get a license with the Cybersecurity Authority in order to do business in Ghana. And if you see if you're here for the beginning of the presentation, you would notice that I'll be presenting our license so that those are aware that we have a license to perform cybersecurity services here in Ghana. If you are performing cybersecurity services in Ghana and you are not licensed by the Cybersecurity Authority, you are illegally operating in the country. Okay. Now, one other frequently asked question in regards to the Cybersecurity Authority is, does the registration with the DPC exclude me from the Cybersecurity Authority registration? The answer is it depends. It depends on two things. The first, how do you determine if you are a business is considered critical information infrastructure? Okay, that's the first one. Do you consider yourself or do they identify you as a critical information infrastructure? This is key when it comes to registering your business with the business register and how they see and understanding how you actually operate. Now, an example of a critical information infrastructure would be an organization like, let me see, in Ghana, you would have like MTN. I will mention them again, or Vodafone, because the information that they have can be devastating to the nation if some type of exposure happens to them. So they're considered critical because of the impact would happen if they got hacked or there was an exposure to the data of the customer's data that they have access to. Okay. Now, when we are operating in Ghana and we're wanting to ensure that we are putting a good foot forward on what we are supposed to do, we must also understand that this economy is constantly changing. It is a mobile economy. And what I mean by that is it's not built on data servers. It's not built on data centers that are sitting here in Ghana. Most of the information that comes through Ghana is sitting somewhere else outside of the country, right? So they're trying their best to ensure that we're putting it as much resilience as possible to prevent information that you control because you're collecting it and making sure that you're doing all the proper protocols to protect the customer's data. Okay. Now, that was very short for the CSA because most of this is in regards to the DPC. I will mention that the CSA, another thing you would add as a business owner when it comes to the Cybersecurity Authority is to ensure if you are going to have someone operate in your organization third party, or if you're going to hire somebody for cybersecurity services, that they must present to you a license that they are licensed to do the work. Okay. Now, we have a third agency that we don't mention much, but I'm going to briefly talk about them in the webinar here. The name of the agency is NITA. NITA has been around since 2008. It is the National Internet Technology Agency. And this is the roles that they play and the focus of their agency and the key functions in which they coordinate. We've already talked about the DPC. As you can see, their roles, focus, and their key function, and the CSA roles, focus, and their key function. Now, Krafo Systems has presented to you a possible problem that you would have if you do not have this information on hand, if this is your first time hearing it, or if you heard about it but didn't have enough information on it. We've done our best to explain this information to you in as detailed as possible. Now, some of you are probably asking, well, what do I do next? How do I get myself in compliance? I'm here to run my business. I don't know anything about cybersecurity or data protection. And this is where Krafo Systems will tell you we have a solution for you. So we present to you our CyberBoss Masterclass. Now, granted, we had this course back in July 30th, but this course is designed for the decision makers and the business owners. Okay? The goal here is to walk you through the process of getting into compliance. This is not a technology type masterclass where we're teaching you the ins and outs of how switches work or routers work or even cybersecurity itself. The focus is to get you to understand the managerial process as a business owner, as a board member, as a CIO, as to how you should be conducting yourself while doing business in Ghana. I'm being specific. This is just for Ghanaian businesses locally and those who are operating outside of Ghana, collecting Ghanaian citizens' data. This class is a 6-hour class, and the goal is to get you started on your path towards resilience. Okay. Now I'm going to play a short video just to give you a little more in depth as to the process on how we get this done.
Nearly 43% of cyber attacks target small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs. And when breaches happen, they don't just hurt a business, they put customers' personal data, privacy, and trust at risk. That's why regulators are taking business data handling so seriously. They're not just reacting to attacks, they're protecting people and ensuring companies are good stewards of the data they hold. When businesses fail to protect that data, regulators impose fines, enforce shutdowns, and in some cases, imprisonment. If you run a business in Ghana, you don't need to wait for regulators to come knocking. We've made it simple to protect your business. You'll move through 3 steps. 1, a free pre-assessment. 2, a full assessment. And 3, the path to resilience, training, policies, and reassessment. Let's start by first creating your account. On our website, click Assessment Toolkit in the top right corner. Click the button, Take a Free Assessment, then Create Free Account. You'll see a short form asking for your name, company name, email address, and a secure password. Under the form, you'll see our terms of use and privacy policy. Please review, tick the boxes to confirm that you agree to these, then click Create Account. Next, go to your email inbox. You'll receive a confirmation email from us. Open it and click the Verify email address or verification link. After confirming, you'll receive a one-time password or OTP. Now return to the login page, enter your email and password, and hit Sign In. On the next screen, enter the OTP on the login screen to complete your first sign-in. Once you're in, click the button to begin your free pre-assessment. Inside your dashboard, everything we do is guided by an industry-standard framework made up of core functions that describe how a serious business manages risk, incidents, and ongoing compliance. Step 1 is your free pre-assessment. You'll complete a short questionnaire about your business size, the data you handle, and how you stay compliant. It takes about 10-15 minutes. Then you'll be invited to schedule a 30-minute consultation. In that call, we'll review your results, explain your risk in plain language, and show you exactly what a full assessment will look like for your business. Every business needs a full assessment at some point. You can't protect what you don't know. In step 2, we do a full tailored assessment of your business. We look at how you collect, store, and use customer and staff information, and where you might be exposed to fines or enforcement. You'll receive a clear report saying where you are compliant, where you are exposed, and then review your critical issues to fix in the next 30-60 days, building a realistic do-this-first plan for you. During our debrief session, we will walk you through the critical findings in plain language, but you will also receive the full written report for your records, so you can share it with your team. The better we understand your business, the clearer your path to resilience becomes. Step 3 is the path to resilience, a 6 or 12-month plan of action. It includes training for your team, online or self-paced, policy support, clear guidelines for staff, and a planned reassessment to check progress and keep you compliant over time. This is where you turn your one-time assessment into a culture of awareness and an intentional foundational shift that will lead to positive impact and resilience across your organization. This ongoing work ensures that if regulators visit, you can show continuous improvement that demonstrates your SME is making its best efforts to protect the lifeblood of your company, your data. By selecting a 6 or 12-month option, you maintain compliance over time, but it all starts with creating your account, completing the free pre-assessment, and moving into the full assessment. Your next step is simple. Create your account, confirm your email, and log in with your OTP. Click Take Your First Assessment to start your free pre-assessment. Be sure to schedule your 30-minute consultation when you are done. From there, we'll walk you through the full assessment and onto your path to resilience. By taking this 3-step journey, your SME will move from being part of the 14% that are unprepared into the 86% that actively plan and assess their security. That's the better percentage. Businesses that stay resilient because they took this step. Click below to get started. You're taking a smart, reassuring step to protect your business.
Gotta cut that part out.
Nearly 43%.
Sorry. And so, as you've seen from the video, we have a whole process to walk you through and to establish what we consider a great relationship with you as any who wish to become our clients, to allow us to get you into compliance and keep you in compliance. I would say that cybersecurity is it's a very intrusive process when it comes to data collection and the process to keep your data collected. To keep your data protected. We make sure that, again, to put the highest levels of security that is needed for the data, just like we were when we was in the military and working for the Department of Defense. So now we're here in the private sector, and we want to be able to let you know that if you're looking for an organization that has the integrity, that has the competency to protect your organization and its data, it'll be Krafo Systems. If anybody that has any other questions, please, again, you can get this information on our website. If you're looking to access for the toolkit, you can also send us an email at info@krafosystems.com, and we can send you a link for the pre-assessment toolkit, and then we can get started. If there's any questions, again, you can comment in the YouTube video if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can hit us up on our email address at info@krafosystems.com. That's info@krafosystems.com. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Very good.